Hey YouTube, how's it going? My name is Savannah Jones, and we are here in studio with musician and artist Nova Coast today.
Absolutely.
Nova, thank you so much for coming in to talk with us.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. This is like a dream come true to me doing my first artist interview, especially on my YouTube channel. So shout out to YouTube, all my subscribers. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And so I want to go ahead and start off. You said YouTube. Is that the only platform that you have currently?
As of right now, yeah, that's like my bread and butter. I want to focus on just high quality visuals, and I could put it straight out to YouTube, and like that's what you're going to see when you see the brand I'm building. I want you to just see straight to my artistry, no distractions.
Let's just jump right in. First off, tell me a little bit about your name. What's Nova Coast and what does that mean? What's the background behind that?
Absolutely. Well, you think about Nova, right? The stars. That's another name for the stars in the galaxy, right? We got the supernova. And then I've always been a fan of the beach. So the coast, right? Whether I'm in California on the East Coast, the West Coast. So I was like, what's a cool thing? Looking at the stars at night on the beach. So one day I was just trying to come up with a Twitter handle. It was a long time ago, like 10 years ago. I was like, Nova Coast, and then I just translated that to my, that sounds pretty cool. So I said, that's going to be my artist name moving forward.
Okay. Well, no, it's really catchy. So I think that's a great title, a great name for you. What are some of your goals as an artist?
I really want to inspire other people, like to not be afraid to be themselves and like do something they feel inside of them. And like, I know like, cause before I believed in myself, like I used to be shy, like introverted, and I was afraid to let people hear my artistry and my music. And I feel like I wasted a lot of my quote unquote good years, like teenager and my 20s and things like that, where I was always making music, but I was afraid to put it out to the public. So like with my brand now is Nova Coast, I just want people like, if they feel they could do it, I want to show people like you could do it. Just believe in yourself and go for your vision and don't worry about what nobody else thinks.
Okay. So if you had to describe maybe your brand in one word that's not music, what would that be?
Honestly, freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Absolutely. Self-expression, freedom, but that's the best one. Yeah.
Okay.
Freedom.
No, I love that. Awesome. And so talking a little bit about your brand, what separates Nova Coast from maybe other artists in the industry?
I would say you're really just going to get nothing but positive vibes from me. And I know that's kind of like, I've always been an optimistic person, but I feel like that's honestly the only way to go. Like you're going to feel other emotions as a person. And, I'm trying to convey that more, like be more, switch up. And they can't be happy all the time. I mean, that's almost impossible, right?
Right.
But I like to think like, okay, I'm down, but I'm always going to get back up at the end. That's the message. Even if I'm down, I always see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I try to convey that in all my music. Like,
I think that's a great way to connect with your listeners. So let's go on and talk a little bit about your early life and a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. Well, when I was a kid, I grew up in Greenbelt, Maryland. It's like a small town in the DMV. I don't know if you heard of that before.
No.
It's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So I grew up in Maryland, Prince George's County, Greenbelt, Maryland. It's a real it's a lot of diversity there. It's like pretty crowded area, and it's a lot going on. It's the metropolitan area right outside the nation's capital.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's a lot going on there. And that's where I grew up my whole life. And growing up there, it's just like, I feel like music was always in me. Me and my brother used to record ourselves on the VHS camera, like rapping 50 Cent songs, Maroon 5. Like we'll stay up to 3 a.m. just making home videos on AOL Music, like recording and singing like Blink 182, Eminem, just pretending like we were them.
Yeah.
And then, so that's how I really started with the music for me. And then when I got to high school, like almost everyone rapped or did music. Like we used to have a thing like Freestyle Friday or freestyling at the lunch table. And I was always watching. I was a spectator. But when I was by myself or around my group of friends, I would try to do it, just to build up my confidence. But I feel like that area is like it's a music hub of its own, the DMV. It's a lot of artists that come out there, and it has like its own sound.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So have you just kind of been running through your veins long before you even kind of get started in the career?
Oh,
so that's amazing.
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Well, since you grew up there, tell me a little bit more about how your cultural background has kind of developed your personality in your music as well.
For sure. No, I feel like I got the best of both worlds to say. Like my mom's European and my dad's African American. So just having that background, like my mom's from Denmark and my dad's side has Jamaican, African American. Just having that, it's like I go to my dad's family parties. It's different than my mom's. So my mom loved country music growing up, so I'm getting influenced by that. And then when I'm with my dad, you know, he's playing NWA, Ice-T, rap music in the car with me and my brother. And you know, so just that was a good like diversity. My dad's from New York, by the way, too. So
Oh, wow.
I was he always liked all the artists from New York and stuff like that. So
So like total different sides of the spectrum there, but that's awesome that those kind of meshed together to help create your personality
absolutely.
and your brand. Were there any moments or like creative sparks that kind of helped develop that love and that passion for making music in the future?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because besides music, my first love was basketball. Like I played basketball high school and college at the Division II level. And me and my friend, he played basketball too. We got a webcam microphone and we started rapping about basketball to hype us up for our basketball games. And this when MySpace was coming up. We were on MySpace and Facebook, and we would record songs on the webcam and drop it straight to Facebook and MySpace. And like just having that motivation, like it's kind of like blending the two worlds of sports and music together. And that's really where it started picking up for me. He gave me the confidence. He told me, he was like, because I let him hear some of the stuff I would record at my house. And he was like, "You're not putting this out on anything. You're just keeping it for yourself." He was like, "You need to put that out." And that's my friend Davo. We had a rap group called Swag King Hoops that we invented in Greenbelt, Maryland, which was pretty popular back then. And so that's kind of a foundation for me on where I come from with the music.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into your family values growing up. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was like being with your mom and your dad, discipline wise, and then maybe your relationship with your brother as well?
No, absolutely. Yeah. My dad is like, he's like fearless, you know, and I'm not even exaggerating. He's actually a basketball legend from New York. Like he's 75 now and he still plays and still works out and everything. And like he does stunts where he like climbs on top of the rim and goes up to the ceiling in the gym. Like, so everybody in the neighborhood is like, "That's your dad?" Like when they find out that's your dad, like he's very well respected and very popular in his own right because he's so brave and fearless with it. He does stunts like with the basketball, like trick shots. He's acrobatic. I wish I had some pictures to show, but he has some stuff on YouTube and Facebook. But just seeing him doing that, like gave me confidence just to be who I am in my own lane. Like, you know, I'm not, you know, if I could do the stuff he does too, but he's like, that's his how do you say, that's his specialty, but I'm just taking that like fearless energy and putting that to my music. Like that's the same drive I have. Like I'm gonna go after it the same way.
Right.
So
That's
yep.
yeah, that's amazing that you kind of took that from him, and I think that's great to have that confidence when doing your music and other creative work. So that's an awesome trait to have.
Yeah, he always tells me like when you perform, like do kicks, do flips, and things of that nature. And if you look at my music videos, I'm doing that in there. Like I'm doing some type of acrobatic move or something like that. And that's another thing that I think separates me from other artists too, because I'm doing karate kicks and flips in my while I'm singing my song.
Right.
You know, so
That's really neat.
yeah.
And that's definitely a good way to stand out among other people. So
Absolutely. And I will tell you about my brother too. He actually trains like Muay Thai. Like he's into like UFC style combat sports, and he actually competes and stuff like that. And he always tell me like, "Yeah, work on your punches and kicks." You know what I mean? So if I need a security guard one day, my brother, I'm definitely gonna hire him to be my security.
definitely.
Yep.
That's awesome. And then he can go on the road with you. So that's really cool too.
Exactly. So it's all gonna come together one day. Like that's my perfect. Like he could be my bodyguard or my security guard when I'm traveling, going on tour at my shows and stuff. I know he'll be right there. He'll be glad to do it.
Have you always seen yourself as someone who would kind of build, I mean, in a way, this is building a business of your own. Tell me a little bit about that mindset that you had to have doing that.
Well, it started when I went to community college. I took a class, Entrepreneurship 101. And we had a song, me and my friend had a song like, "What does it take to be an entrepreneur?" Like, and that was our class project. So like just having that mindset of like, okay, you could start your own business and be successful. That just goes hand in hand with the brand. But I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I'm not worried about like the money and the logistics of it. I just want to put out like high quality stuff that's true to me. And it's just bring my visions to life that I have in my mind. Cause like, my mind is always thinking like I'm driving in the car or walking. I say, "Oh, I could shoot a music video right here. Oh, that's a good scene for a music video there." So I just want to build that like as my legacy. And then I feel like everything with the brand is going to come once like the fan base continues to grow and they see that I'm actually putting out like quality stuff.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you'd also mentioned, your brother did some sports, your dad did basketball, and tell me a little bit about your career in basketball and how that's kind of translated into your work as an artist as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. My dream was always to make it to the NBA. Like, I feel like I could still play in the NBA right now, honestly. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I trained really hard at that. I played high school, I played college 4 years, and I still play now to this day. But just doing that, it's like, that's art itself, basketball. Like, I always played like the street ball way too. Like, if you're familiar with and one, like, the guys who do like rolling on the ground and doing all the spins and throwing it behind people's backs and stuff. That's how I play.
All the trick shots, trick plays. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going between my legs on the layup, like just all that type of stuff. And that's from my dad, from New York background too. And just my artistry, that's another outlet for self-expression is basketball.
Right.
A lot of my coaches didn't always like it, but I still, if I made it, they didn't complain. You know what I mean? So I always been like a fancy finesse type player. So it's kind of like same thing. Now I'm just doing recording,
Right.
So,
Translating, you had that creativity and artistry back then with sports and basketball, but just translating it into music. So
exactly.
that's a nice transition.
And I love like the energy of it too. Like I'm always hyped, like I'm on my toes. It's just like performing. It's the same thing. If I do a show, I feel like I just got done playing a basketball game. Like I'm dripping sweat if I do a show. Like even if it's just an open mic or anything, I'm leaving soaked, just like I got done playing basketball.
Right.
Because I bring the same energy. Like so.
So now if you do go see him live, you're gonna have a whole performance going on. So
Exactly.
definitely check that out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You said your dad is from New York, but I know that you're based in California now.
Yeah.
How did that move kind of transition or how did that flow for you?
It's interesting you asked that because I feel like stuff is already predetermined, and when I was growing up on the East Coast in Maryland, I always had dreams of being in Los Angeles, California. Like I like the Lakers, Kobe Bryant. I was fascinated by palm trees and stuff. And I'm like, there's no palm trees here. But I always knew I was actually making music, rapping about I'm in California underneath the palm trees back when I was in Maryland. And people would listen to my music like, why are you talking about palm trees? You're in Maryland, in DC, it's nothing here like that. And then fast forward, a few years later, I'm actually in California underneath the palm trees. I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like what you think in your mind, you could bring to life. Like I'm a big believer in that. And I think it was just meant in my cards to be in California. I feel like it fits my vibe and personality well. Like the colors there, like it's very vibrant and I just resonate with it. Like it feels like at home,
How does the Bay Area still show up in your music?
Well, I would say just being there, like have you seen the Golden Gate Bridge before?
Oh, yes.
You have? Okay, so
Definitely.
just seeing that, like that inspires me right there. I'm like, this is the perfect backdrop for a photo shoot, a video. You're on the coast, you could be feet in the sand at the beach. It's hills, like the scenery there, and palm trees for one is the biggest inspiration, I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful scenery there. So that background kind of translates. Like you said, you could take inspiration from the bridge, from the water, from the palm trees, and write that into your music or put that into your brand. So.
Yep. And what I will say too, the people there are so nice. Like compared to I'm not saying nothing bad about Maryland. That's my hometown. Like
right.
I'm always gonna have love for that because that's where I grew up as a kid. But being in California, I'm like, wow, people are actually nice here. Like customer service is great. People are more friendly. And I think that gave me more confidence too, to it's okay to be an artist. Like I want to be in an area where it's like, it's okay to do art and whatever it is. And if you're in California, you look at a bridge, it's graffitied, it's like pink, yellow, spray painted. The stores are colorful. You know what I mean? Like everything's vibrant there. So that's why I like it, So, and that's what I noticed right away. As soon as I got there, I was like, oh, I'm in the right place for music,
Yeah.
So
I think that's great that you came in, maybe a little nervous, maybe a little uncomfortable at first, but then you found that you fit there.
Absolutely.
Your vibe kind of meshes with the area, and that's amazing to have as an artist so that you can see that confidence build and grow and change in your music.
Absolutely. And I actually made real connections there related to music, outside of just recorded music itself, videographers there I met. I've had people shoot my music videos there for me that I don't know. I feel like it's the perfect zone for creativity.
Right.
From not just the art, because you need help as an artist. You can't do it by yourself. I used to be do everything on my phone. I'm pulling out my phone. Hey, record this TikTok of me. You know what I mean? Let me get this clip right here. But you need actually the real camera, lighting, professional setting, and I feel like I found the right people out there. So I just want to say shout out to everybody in the Bay Area that I met. You know, I'm not going to try to name everybody because I don't want to leave anybody out, but
Sure.
all the people that helped me produce, you know, my visuals, I'm really appreciative of that.
Also, it's really amazing that you can have those relationships and those connections with people in that area since you kind of grown and built that brand there.
Yep.
But speaking of relationships, how has that recent move or how has that move kind of shifted your relationship with your family?
Well, you know, they definitely miss me, you know, talking to it. Yeah, they always say, I wish you were, you know, back here and stuff, but they understand I'm on a mission. Like they understand, you know,
Right.
but nah, they're still there. Like I said, you know, luckily in today's world, you just pick up the phone and it's a phone call away.
Right.
And then, you know, but with me though, more importantly, I got my wife and kids with me in California. So just having that foundation there is like, you know, I'm set. You know, my mom and dad, they did their job already. You know, they raised me. I'm here. You know, my brother too, he got his family back in Maryland and, but here, and I mean, back in California, you know, I got my wife, my kids, and that's my number one support foundation right there. Is that team?
Right.
That's my own team, right?
And that's great. I know, like you said, you kind of moved away and started your own life, your own brand, but you brought your family with you, your
Absolutely.
kids. So
Oh yeah, they've
tell
been.
me, yeah, a little bit about how has being a father and a husband kind of changed your perspective and shifted everything music wise.
Oh, it's like it just makes me go all in because I know, like, okay, you know, first I'll say this, like, shout out to my wife. You're watching this. I love you. Thank you for all your support, like 100%, because without her, I wouldn't be here doing this right now. Like, and same thing, if I'm going to shoot a music video or I'm recording music, she's the one taking care of the kids. So I could do that for that a lot of times. So I'm like, I know I got to lock in and focus. So it makes it kind of like work, but it's a work I want to be doing. Like, I know I got to clock in, like, okay, I got time to be Nova Coast and do my music. Then when I leave here, up, daddy duties, back taking care of the family. So it just makes me appreciate it more when I have the time to do my own thing, so to speak, with my music. So
Okay. And then, so talk to me a little bit about how has being, like you said, Nova Coast for a minute, and then going back to being a husband and a father, how has that kind of flown as far as having moments, private or intimate moments with your family versus having to share your story out into the world as well?
sure, it's been a journey, you know, just navigating that. And I feel like now I'm the most focused I ever been, like as far as and that's why I'm only just on YouTube right now, like because I feel like that's straight to what I actually want to do. Everything else is just a distraction, you know. But the shift is there, and I could tell, you know, my family appreciates. My kids are my number one fans. Like they're singing Nova Coast songs around the house, and I could tell, you know, my wife likes that. It makes her happy, and they're excited. They can't wait to watch this interview. You know, they're gonna be excited to see. But no, it's just I appreciate it more. It's like when I'm with the family, I know how to take the Nova Coast off and just be who I am, you know, just be me as a human being with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know how to navigate the two now. So
And that's important. But I love that they are so supportive of your music. All right, so you mentioned your kids loving music. What does success mean to you as a father, not just an artist?
I think, like, honestly, at the end of the night when the kids go to sleep and, you know, you get that first breath or like, you're just like, wow, I did it. Like, you know, that's the best feeling right there. You know, after a long day with them, like, you know, it gets stressful. It's why I think it's one of the hardest things in the world is to be an active, involved parent. And just doing that and making it through each day, and your kids are sleeping, they ate, nobody got hurt, like that's a win right there. Like that's the ultimate. And it's an everyday process. Like, you know, you got to do it again the next day.
Okay.
So I feel like it's an ongoing thing. So I can't really define, you know, the success in one moment, but I feel like it's just a collection of those moments over time. And I'm just super excited to see what it's going to be like when they're grown one day. You know, that's going to be my biggest thing when they're old enough to sit down like you and me
Right.
and have a conversation about life. Like that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
So
And I think them being able to see how you kind of grown, not just as an artist, but as a father, and how you kind of shown them how to just be confident and make their own things and be creative. I think that's a really important trait to pass on to them as well.
oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about your son a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit more about his diagnosis?
Absolutely. Like that, honestly, when he got diagnosed with autism, that was the turning point for me as an artist. I feel like, you know, because with autism, you know, my son, he's nonverbal right now. You know, he communicates with sign language and he could talk like kind of in his own language, but if anybody out there is familiar with autism, they understand what it's like. And it just made me appreciate my ability to be able to speak even more. And I was like, wow, imagine if that was me. Like, imagine if I had trouble talking and communicating and
Right.
people didn't understand me. I was like, I have the ability to do that. So why am I being worried to convey, like show the world what I could do
Right.
when some people can't even do it at all? And it, like, when I was recording my music, when he was 1, 2, 3 years old, he would be dancing, singing my songs, like trying to say it. And I was like, oh, I got to keep going with this. And
Right.
if you go back, like, I'm sure it's in the archive somewhere. Like, I got my own home music videos I used to do with him in it when he was a baby. And he would be in there dancing, running around. And he was my motivation. And, you know, he's still to this day, if I play my songs, he'll just start rocking his head in the car. Like, he's happy every time. I can tell he's calm and relaxed when he hears my music. So just autism is a very interesting thing, and that definitely, I never knew what it was till, you know, I found out my son was diagnosed with that. And that's really motivated me to say, like, I have nothing to be ashamed about me wanting to be an artist and make music, because it's some people out here who wish they could do that, you know.
Right.
I got the ability, so why not do it, you know?
Of course. And I wonder, a little bit more serious note, like, how has this shifted your perspective on life and on your music, and how you've taken that a little bit more seriously because of this?
I would say just like be 100% grateful every day. I know that sounds cliche, but really just be grateful for, like, nothing's ever as bad as it seems.
Right.
Like, even with my son having autism, I don't look at it as like, oh, it's something to be like ashamed or sad about. No, we're gonna work through it, because like, and I just take my hat off to anybody that's dealing with something similar or even worse than that, you know, depending on what it is. It just opened my eyes up to like all types of disabilities that people may have, you know, whether it's physical or mental. You got to be grateful for what you have, because life can be really hard. It can be really challenging, you know. So I always tell to myself, like, it's never as bad as it seems, and it can always be worse. And that's something my dad been saying to me my whole life, and I understand it now. You know what I mean?
Now that you've stepped into that role, it's like, here it is in front of me, and how to take that journey, and
Yep. And I
positive.
Yep. And I see my son, he's happy, he's calm. All his teachers say he's like the happiest kid in his class. He's athletic, he's tall, you know, like, so he's gonna be just fine.
Right.
He's gonna be just fine. But it definitely opened my mind up to, like, okay, you know, the human, you know, it's a lot of unique humans in the world, and we gotta accept and love everybody, you know, no matter what. So I'm gonna love my son. I'm gonna love
Right.
any kid I have, no matter what challenge they face. I'm gonna love them no matter what. And I think that's also an important thing I want to convey in my music, like, love everyone no matter what, you know.
And that's what I wanted to touch on a little bit more. How does this kind of affect your motivation and your message in some of your songs and your music?
Yeah, I just want to be like, this way is like, I wish I could just, I want to be, I feel like I'm universal, you know what I mean? Like, I don't put myself in a box. Like, I want, like, if somebody's in any country in the world, any region, the most remote island, and they see my music video, or they just see me, my artistry, any glimpse of it, they can resonate with it. So I like, you know, I understand I can pick up on this energy. Like, I want people to pick up on my energy. Like, okay, I feel nothing but good things when I see what he's doing. I may not understand what he's talking about. I may not know or get it, or I may not even like, you know, how he's rapping, but the energy is good. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be a fan of what you're saying or what your message is, or they may not be able to relate to it. But I want to at least say, okay, the energy was good. Like, I didn't get no bad vibes from this, you know?
Right.
And that's what I want to convey. So.
And then going along with the message that you want to spread, let's talk a little bit more about your creative journey and that process throughout your career.
Wow, that's I used to be a quantity over quality guy. You know, I really had, like, I used to put out like 100 TikTok videos a day, and I'm not even joking. Like, I would just be making videos like nonstop, rapid fire, you know, and same with songs too. I would record so many songs. Like, I wouldn't take my time with it. I just wanted to get it out there, because I was like a high off that, like a natural high of like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm going after my dream. I'm, you know, my foot's on the gas. I'm going after it. And then I just realized one day, I was like, I need to slow down. Like, you got it already. You figured it out. But I feel like that time period was so necessary to get to where I am now, because that's where all the trial and error went into play. Like experimental to the max. Like I would experiment with everything. I would make techno songs, like country songs. I would just make random songs that didn't make any sense. Like just experimenting, just trying new things. I would try to sing, like do R&B songs, rap, of course. I was just doing any and everything, you know? And after doing that, after a while, I finally realized, like, okay, you got it. You figured it out. You know what you can do. Like, and now I'm just fine tuning what I know I want, like what I want my overall image to be. You know? So,
And that's great that it took a little bit of time, but to find that brand and to find that niche that you really want to put out into the world. Tell me a little bit more about how you kind of grown your fan base now that you
oh, yeah,
found that brand or that message that you want to put out into the world.
absolutely. I would say the best, like I said, TikTok was the best online traction because that's when I got the most comments, the most people talking about what I'm doing, sharing my stuff. But it really started like with these right here in person, like passing these out in the mall. Like I always had something like this to promote my music. And I feel like the face-to-face promotion is the best way to build your fan base.
Right.
Like online,
Built that trust. So.
absolutely. Like, and it's just a moment to connect with somebody, like, and say, hey, I'm real. Like, look, check me out. Online, it's like, I feel like a lot of people online, people could think like, oh, they don't know what your motive or attention is. Like, oh, they're just trying to, it's like a game of like clicks. It's like a race, you know, everyone's in on it. And I understand that's part of the culture now and the times that we're in. But I always been a paper, like, or hard copy CD. Now it's just paper because everything's digital now. But I always had something like this to build my fan base and connect. And this is, I'm still doing it to this day. I keep these with me everywhere I go. And it could be a waitress, it could be an Uber driver, it could be a random person I come across in the store, the cashier ringing me up. I just say, hey, take a second to check out my music. I'm Nova Coast. I make music. Here's my YouTube channel. Here you go. Have a nice day. And that's something I've always been doing since I've been doing my journey as an artist. So.
And I think that's important. Like you said, now we live in this social media era where just putting out content is kind of the way to get that attention. But being able to connect and build relationships with people, like you said, you are a real person. And I think that seems to be a little bit more professional in a way because you're introducing yourself to people. Talk to me a little bit more about your transition into professional production.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah, my sound was very raw in the beginning, right? Like I said, I was recording on a webcam microphone with like the beat playing in the background, like on speakers. You know what I mean? So I used to think I loved it. You know, it sounded good to me. I was happy. I was just happy to be recording. But then, TikTok, like I said, I met an engineer, an audio engineer, and I'll just shout him out. His name is Luke. He's in Arizona. Shout out to Luke if you're watching this. I know you're gonna watch it, but shout out to you. He is the mastermind behind my sound having a professional quality now. He sent me a message one day and he was like, yo man, your music got potential. I could make your song sound even better. Just send me your raw files right now. And I was like, all right. I said, I didn't even know what he meant. I said, what does that mean? Raw files? And I was like, okay, let me try to figure this out. And I, separated the vocals from the beat and I sent it to him and he sent it back and I was blown away. I was like, oh, this is how I can sound like, compared to how I was sounding before. And I just stuck with that. I was like, you know what? If I can't do that, like, I don't even want to put it out. Like, if it's not going to sound like that, I'm going to just keep it for myself until I'm ready to send it to him and he can mix and master. And I had other producers mix my songs for me as well during my journey. And that was through TikTok as well. So it's a lot of good on social media. You can make those networking connections that can help your career out for sure.
Definitely. So you told me a little bit more about how you kind of grown that professional sound, but tell me a little bit more about your visuals and intentional artistry within your music videos and just your image in general.
Yeah, it goes back to like, I felt like you got to the point where I was just putting stuff out and I was tired of even watching it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, what is this? Like it's just me like by a random car or a random tree, you know what I mean? And I'm like rapping. It didn't make any sense, But like I said, back then my mindset was different. I just wanted to like let people know like, hey, look, I wanted to flood the internet and let people know like I'm Nova Coast, like check this guy out. But no, it's like once I realized like, no, write it down, like think about where you want to do this at, think about does it match the song? And I was like, trust me, it's gonna take a little longer to come out. And I'm really impatient sometimes with my artistry. Like if I have an idea, I wish I could just like auto produce a song like without even going through all those loops and stuff like that. But I can't do that yet, maybe one day in the future,
Right.
but just I had to learn to be patient, honestly. That was the main thing, like patience. Like if you want, nothing comes quick and easy. Like, anything good, you got to work for it. And I think that goes with producing good visuals too. It's going to take coordination, planning, time and scheduling. And that's something I just take pride in now with my visuals.
Right.
So,
And I do agree that is very important because people will look at your visuals or your videos and understand there is a deeper meaning behind that. And I do want to shift a little bit to deeper meaning or the meaning behind your tattoos that we.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
Yep. Nah, I feel like it's just me, like it represents my artistry to the T, and autism awareness, the colors, for my son.
right.
Monster Energy, my goal is to get sponsored by them one day because I feel like I'm always bringing high energy. So if Monster Energy, send me that contract and we can work that out. But I just wanted to be different with my tattoos, and I wanted that to represent my artistry. Like when a lot of people comment on my tattoos, good and bad sometimes, but I just want people to see my tattoos and say, wow, that's unique. And then I feel like when people see my music, I want to say, wow, that's unique. So I feel like as an artist, you got to have I was a big wrestling fan growing up, just to, tie it all in. You got to have like a character, a persona.
Right.
And I feel like that's important with being an artist. You got to have like your persona that you do.
Definitely.
And I feel like tattoos are just part of the aesthetic, that I'm creating for Nova Coast music.
Going along with that character persona or that brand, let's talk a little bit about Nova Coast on YouTube.
Oh, Nova Coast on YouTube. If you go there, you're gonna see nothing but high quality music visuals on my channel. That's it. Most of them are shot in the Bay Area, California. I got some videos at the Golden Gate Bridge, showing some nice palm trees in Vallejo. I got in-studio performances in Sacramento, and I'm gonna shoot a music video here in Biloxi, Mississippi, coming up really soon. So, that's what you can see, on my channel right now.
Awesome. So do you have another channel as well that you kind of separate your work with? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my original channel, Nova Coast Music. I still have, and that's like I still have a lot of way more subscribers on there than on Nova Coast Visuals. But I kept that channel, and now I just drop like audios and audio songs and behind the scenes clips just to give the fans it's kind of like a scrapbook page, like just whatever. Like let the fans get a little deeper insight on what I'm doing than just compared to Nova Coast Visuals. You go there, it's just straight high quality visuals.
Right. So. And I think that behind the scenes kind of, like you said, it lets people connect a little bit more to what you're doing and what they can look forward to. And I was going to shift a little bit talk to me about some future BTS, some future lifestyle shoots that you might be working on. I know you mentioned a music video.
Right. I'm thinking, honestly want to start my own podcast one day. I got a lot of aspirations in the media world, but the behind the scenes thing I think are important, and but it's not really my main focus. I will say that if I get them, I'm cool with that. But I think just having that polished portfolio, you know what I mean? I want to get to the point where my behind the scenes clips are going to come from somebody that's on my team that's always recording me behind the scenes. Right. My goal is to have a camera person always with me to document what I'm doing, what if I'm doing something big. I'm not there yet, but that's my goal one day. I want to have like a whole team around me, somebody that can run that channel besides me. Because that's a lot of work trying to run, the social medias and stuff like that, especially, trying to be the artist, trying to be the editor, the uploader, the caption, the person, you know how it is. That's a lot of work.
Part of being a small business owner in a way.
Absolutely. So my goal, I want to hire somebody for that. And, that's going to happen one day, I'm sure, That's bro. Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about your message and what kind of message does your art or your music convey to the public or your listeners?
I would say just love, love everyone, love yourself. I always throw it in there, and you could do anything, you're unstoppable, believe in yourself. That's basically it. It's your time is now, you're going up, take off, what I mean? There's no limit to what you can do. No limit at all. You got to go against the grain too. Go against the odds, use that as motivation,
Right.
So that's what I try to convey with the music right there.
And how do you have that motivation just continue to allow you to pursue future goals and dreams for your music?
You said like how do I use it? Like how do I have it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk a bit about more of the future and how are you kind of motivated to build that brand and grow your music?
You know, I think it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, but my mind just won't stop working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just won't. Like when I wake go to sleep at night, I'm thinking about it. When I wake up, I'm thinking about what can I do today to get closer to that goal. Like, and I just have that in me. I feel like it's something that's innate in me, and it just happens to be I'm going towards music, a musical goal as an artist, and I have a vision in my mind, and I feel like it's there for a reason, and I'm not gonna ignore it. You know, I'm not gonna be like, nah, no, turn that off. No, I'm like, okay, that's there for a reason, and it just makes me happy. So like, I want to be happy in life, and anytime I do something that's a step closer to like my musical vision for what I have for Nova Coast, the artist, I'm happy. You know,
Right.
so. Yep.
So what are you ultimately striving for as an artist?
I want to be the biggest artist in the world, you know? Like I want to be on Billboard, I want to be on MTV, you know? I want to be an actor, you know? I want to get into all of that. Like I want to challenge myself. I want to be on stage at like Rolling Loud, all the biggest music festivals, like performing my music with like the whole crowd going crazy. Like, you know, I see myself on tour like worldwide. I feel like they'll love me in other countries, you know, like Europe, Asia, you know, and even America. Like I want to go South America, every continent. I want to be on tour doing my music. I feel like I believe in my heart I had that type of potential and energy in me to do that, you know. So that's my goal. I want to be worldwide known as a musical performing artist, you know.
You kind of talked about being worldwide known. How does that shift into a legacy? What do you want to leave behind for your listeners?
I just want them to know like you really can do it. Like, you know, it's really possible. Like I think it's a lot of people. I feel like, cause I was one of them. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be living and like being afraid to do something that you really want to do. And I just don't want nobody to feel like that. You know, I want them to see, like, hear my story and like learn like how in high school, I was so shy to even talk about like, oh, you record music? I'll be like, no, no, let me hear it. Nah, I'll be scared to let people, I used to be scared to let people hear my music, you know? Or it will make me uncomfortable, like playing my music out loud if somebody was around and stuff. And I just don't think nobody should feel like that, because I feel like everybody's unique. Everybody has a story to tell. And it doesn't just have to be music. Like, you know, I just like music because it's fun. I feel like it's fun. Like the lifestyle is fun. Like that I see myself having, like, you know, just being like a rock star, you know, or a pop star or a rap star, whatever, you know, and I could be all of it combined in one. But I just want people to go after their dreams and goals in life, whatever it is, you know. And when they look back at me, I want to see my evolution, because even though you know, I have evolved and I will continue. Like I'm dropping high quality projects, but those are gonna get even better. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying they're high quality because okay, I got a nice camera, I got, you know, somebody editing it professionally, but they could get even better, you know? And that's what I wanted to see too, is like, okay, this is where he started with the visuals being, you know, high definition and things of that nature. I want them to see where that's going to go. Like, I want my music videos to like be more storytelling, like have more people in it, more characters in it, have actors, models, and more theatrics in my music videos. That's where it's going to lead to. It's gonna be more than just me performing my song and somebody recording me from different angles and cool locations. It's gonna be, you know what I mean? So
of course,
that's where I'm going with it.
And it's amazing you talk about that and how much bigger and these more amazing productions that you're gonna have. But to hear that journey from you starting out in Maryland and moving and just having this whole community and fan base and building up your brand. Just what can we expect? I mean, is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
Oh, just like in the near future for Nova Coast?
Certainly. What can we look forward to?
Sure. You can look forward to a music video being shot here in Biloxi on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, which is going to be really dope. You know, look forward to that music video, and just be on the lookout for more songs to come, more songs and more visuals. That's really my recipe right now. I'm going to keep recording and keep shooting music videos for my music and just keep building from there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's been really great just getting to chat with you, learn more about the person behind Nova Coast.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is awesome opportunity. So
yeah,
I want to ask, are there any closing thoughts that you have for the fans or anything else that you want to talk to us about before we wrap up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just want to say thanks to you for having me here, and editing team behind the scenes, behind the camera. Thanks to everyone here at the studios for having me for this interview. And I also want to just say thanks to everyone out there who does support my musical journey. If you're watching this video, I know, there's certain people are gonna watch it and that know who I am. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. And closing thoughts is just I'm going to the top. I'm here. This is real as it gets right now. Nova Coast is here, locked in, and I'm going to the top. I'm not gonna stop. There's no such thing as an age limit. There's no barriers to what you can do. You could do it. I'm here, locked in, ready to go. So that's what I got.
Well, it's amazing. And once again, it was really great to get to talk to you about this. Thank you so much for coming on, and we can't wait to see what's next for you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.